Hi, and welcome to Best in Tesla and the news show Overflow episode 22. You might have heard that Waymo want to sell more cars to customers, and now we might have found out how. And Tesla shares some more information about their megapack factory in the US. And we have some tariff relief, and Tesla seems to be the big winner. And I saw a new Tesla safety feature that I didn't know about. And we see more cybercabs casting that are starting to pile up at the Giga Texas factory. And we have 3 German automakers that have all lost over 40% of their profits in Q1. And GM is recalling 721,000 cars over engine issues. Ouch. And the Wall Street Journal is spreading more lies about Tesla. But this time around, Tesla fought back. All of this and much more in today's episode. Let's dive right in.
Let's put our living stereo stylus in this groove.
You might have heard that Waymo want to sell cars to customers, and now we might have found out how. So Waymo and Toyota strikes partnership to bring full self-driving tech to personal vehicles. Toyota, I'm sorry, this is hard to read with a straight face, but anyway, Toyota and Waymo aims to combine their representative strength to develop a new autonomous vehicle platform. In parallel, the companies will explore how to leverage Waymo's autonomous technology and Toyota's vehicle expertise to enhance next-generation personal-owned vehicles. The scope of the collaboration will continue to evolve through ongoing discussions. So they are still in the discussion phase, so they have a long way to go. But this to me is just such a good showcase that neither Waymo or Toyota knows how to get to the autonomous future of cars driving themselves everywhere at scale. I personally think this is a very bad collaboration, because Waymo's technology is not designed to work everywhere. It's designed to work within their little geofenced areas. So Waymo needs to come up with a generalized solution like the one we see from Tesla, because if we look at what Waymo is offering today, who is ever going to buy a personal car with that technology inside and outside? So if you are an American and you can buy a Waymo/Toyota car that can only drive you in downtown San Francisco, who wants that? Waymo's technology works as a robotaxi in cities. That's it. The full self-driving tech that is needed in a personal car that is used in multiple ways need to be able to drive you everywhere, or it will simply be obsolete the moment it comes out. Tesla will have an unsupervised general solution ready in less than 2 months, while Toyota and Waymo are discussing things. And all Tesla cars they produce today, so about 1.8 million a year, are all capable of this. Waymo doesn't produce any cars, so they have to rely on someone like Toyota. And Toyota doesn't seem to have any full self-driving tech that is worth talking about, or they would not be in talks with Waymo. And if Toyota understood what is needed to get to a general solution, they would not be in talks with Waymo either. So both need each other, whereas Tesla is going to do this all by themselves in less than 2 months. I have a hard time understanding how people can look at this and think Tesla has some true competition for a generalized full self-driving car at scale. There really is none. The Chinese that have kind of tried to copy Tesla's approach might get there, but Toyota and Waymo entering this partnership shows us that they are not even close with a solution. So Toyota is behind on EVs and autonomy, and for them to think Waymo is a good partnership, well, that gives me little hope for Toyota's future. But hey, Toyota still thinks hydrogen cars are the future, so my expectation of Toyota making the right choices is not very high. Tesla shared a new video about their megapack factory in the US. It is North America's largest utility-scale battery manufacturing facility at 40 gigawatt hours, unmatched in energy storage system specialization. This is what Tesla does, right? They make everything bigger and better than the competition. Like with the car factories, Tesla make about 1.8 million cars a year, but does that with only 4 factories. Audi sold a little less last year, but they have 21 factories. So Tesla does what Audi does, but just with 5 times less factories, getting a much better economy of scale at each factory. And they are doing the same thing with energy storage. No one is really matching Tesla when it comes to a specialized single factory that produces 40 gigawatt hours a year of energy storage systems. And they have just started production in the second factory in China this year. And we have some analysts trying to tell us that their energy business is not doing great. Most are truly short-sighted analysts, as their storage business has gone up significantly over the last 5 years, but Tesla is just getting started, as last year they deployed, not produced. Remember, there is a delay on these products, as Tesla doesn't get paid before the system is up and running, but they deployed 31 gigawatt hours last year, and now they have 2 factories with combined capacity of 80 gigawatt hours. One is fully ramped here in 2025 and one is ramping up. So we should see a big growth this year, probably at least double of last year, and in 2026 even higher yet again. And Tesla can do this because they are seeing that the demand seems endless right now, so they are not afraid of building these huge factories that are setting them apart from the competition. Tesla's mega factory with 40 gigawatt hours capacity, specialized in utility-scale energy systems, produced 10,000 megapacks yearly, enough to power 1.3 million homes, setting it apart from competition like Nexstar, Honda and LG, which focus on EV batteries with similar single plant capacities. And Tesla already have 2 of these beasts and many more to come. So to me, Tesla's energy business is looking extremely strong, as when you also know a little bit about the technology that Tesla is offering compared to the competition and the price, Tesla is really in a very good position in the energy storage market. Not only does Tesla offer Autobidder that sells and buy energy from the grid, but also Tesla's virtual machine mode that I have made videos about how crucial this software is to make a grid run on 100% renewable energy possible. And as more wind and solar power replaces fossil fuel generation, less mechanical inertia is available on the grid, removing a natural stability buffer in case of a grid disturbance. Tesla's virtual machine mode is designed to address these stability challenges by virtually emulating mechanical inertia. Megapack's built-in inverter with virtual machine mode create grid-forming dynamics that provide grid strengths, respond to added and rejected loads, and maintain quality voltage at the point of interconnection. In South Australia, the Hornsdale power plant alone can provide up to 3,000 megawatt-second of inertia by using virtual machine mode, roughly half of the state's entire inertia need from just one battery plant, thanks to Tesla's software. But as Tesla has also shown with their solar inverter architecture white paper, their levelized cost of energy, their LCOE, is the cheapest on the market. LCOE is just the lifetime cost of the system divided by the lifetime energy generation of the system. So Tesla is the cheapest, but most reliable and most energy-dense system you can get. I think many are completely underestimating this part of Tesla's business, as people continue to only look at Tesla's car business and are saying Tesla is down in profits and unit sales. Sure, but are forgetting that Tesla's energy storage systems will become as big as Tesla's car business of today. So Tesla's revenue should double in the future on that fact alone. The tariff confusion continues as we have discounts incoming for automakers, and Tesla seems to be the big winner. Morning Brew wrote, Commerce Secretary Lutnick says auto tariff release is coming. Car manufactured with at least 85% domestic content will face zero tariffs. US automakers will receive credit up to 15% of the value of vehicles to offset the cost of imported parts. So Tesla is going to be the big winner here, as Tesla is the only automaker confirmed with models at or above 85% domestic sourcing, including the Model 3 Performance at 87.5%, the Model Y variants with 85%. No other automaker like Ford or GM were reported meeting these thresholds with the data we have from the Made in America Auto Index. As Jeff also pointed out, more than 95% of Tesla's US sales will effectively be tariff-free after receiving their rebate from the US government. Not a bad situation for Tesla. And as the former Ford CEO also said in an interview on CNBC.
We probably should have Tesla on that screen as well. Who do you think is the winner of this little situation right now? Is there a winner and a loser?
Well, nobody's a winner in this, Andrew, for the very fact, as we talked about earlier, the cost for the automakers are going up, and it could be cost for consumers going up. But relatively speaking, particularly if some of these changes that were reported by the Wall Street Journal last night on auto parts come through, I think the biggest winner is Tesla, because they have all of their production here in the U.S. They're getting a lot of parts from overseas, but if these changes take into effect, they'll be a winner. I think Ford also, they are also producing 80% or assembling 80% of their vehicles here in the U.S. I think GM and Stellantis are going to be more challenged. Stellantis imports probably over 50% of their vehicles into the U.S. GM about the same number. And importantly, GM and Stellantis produce a number of their full-size pickups, which are big profit makers, in some cases outside the U.S. So that's going to hurt them more than, let's say, GM. Or more than Ford.
But in the interview, they did also touch on the Waymo versus Tesla race. And he still thinks Waymo is in front. And when we are talking about having paid robotaxis on the street, Waymo is, of course, out in front. But Blockbuster was also way out in front of Netflix at some point. But that changed pretty quickly when Netflix came with a new technology, a streaming service. And Blockbuster became history. But as he says, we will know very soon if Tesla's system can compete with Waymo's when they launch in Austin in June next month.
How far do you think Tesla is in that game versus where Waymo is, and what does that look like to you long term?
Well, when you look at Waymo versus Tesla, just look at permits and the ability to operate. I mean, Waymo is way ahead of Tesla in terms of getting the permits to operate their vehicles. I mean, when I go to San Francisco, I take Waymos all the time. They're already in the market there. They're in a couple other markets. Tesla still needs to get the permits from, in this case, in California, from the California authorities. I think secondly, listen, Waymo has proven over the years, they're in 5 or 6 different cities now. Tesla has talked a lot about this, but again, they're using a different technology. They're using cameras versus LiDAR, which is Waymo is using. And so I think technologically speaking, it's still a big question mark how these Tesla vehicles are actually going to perform in some of these cities with a different technology, albeit, they've mapped a lot of those cities because they have a lot of cars out there. So
when do you think that's the big question. When do you think we'll know whether Tesla's without LiDAR, whether Tesla cars can fully do it? I mean, do you think that this Austin experiment will prove the point or not? And you'll know after a month or two?
Yeah, I think you're going to know relatively soon because in each of those states, you're going to have to report incidents. And, if you have Tesla that's launching in June in, let's say, Austin, you're going to know in a couple of months, are their incidence rates higher than Waymo? So I think you're going to know pretty quickly how they perform.
And let's squeeze in the last short news topics into this news show. Yes, it's time for the Tesla Shorts. Aaron shared a safety feature of the Teslas that I didn't know about, as he wrote. For safety, Tesla's cars automatically lower windows and open the trunk when submerged in water. That's pretty cool. But as he writes, however, true safety requires the driver to know how to swim. Yes, this guy drove off the road into the water, but got out and swam away. But nice to learn about this safety feature that Tesla's cars has. And we have to watch out on online platforms as research from the University of Zurich secretly used AI bots on Reddit's subreddit for 4 months. Starting in November 2024, they made the bots pretend to be real people, like a rape victim or counselor, and had them post over 1,500 comments to change users' opinions. The bots used personal detail from users' past posts to make their argument more convincing. They were 6 times better at persuading people than humans, often using misinformation. This was done without users' permission, breaking ethical rules, and has sparked concerns about AI manipulating online conversations. Yeah, this is exactly what we don't want to see AI being used for. And CATL was also at the Shanghai Auto Show, and they had some of their cool new battery tech with them. And here's just a few highlights about their EV battery tech.
Features groundbreaking CTP cell-to-pack structure. This unique design eliminates the traditional separation of cross beams, cooling plates, and insulation pads, instead integrating them into a multifunctional elastic inner layer with micron-level bridge connections that expand and contract. The CATL Chilean battery also achieves ultra-high pack integration via functional consolidation and space sharing, increasing energy space by 6%. With a 72% plus volume utilization rate and 255 watt-hours per kilogram energy density, enabling 1,000 kilometers in range. It supports 5-minute and rapid thermal activation, peak 12C ultra-fast charging, and average 6C fast charging, and 10% to 80% SOC in just 7 minutes. The Chilean battery 2, which powered the record-breaking Xiaomi SU7 Ultra prototype at Germany's Nürburgring Nordschleife, features dual-sided active cooling tech for enhanced thermal control and 1,330 kilowatt discharge power, enabling it to reach speeds of 0 to 100 kilometers in just 1.98 seconds. Even after exceeding over 40 kilometers of high-speed laps, the battery temperature never surpassed 55 degrees Celsius.
And Tesla present a new hardware sales program at Power to Drive in Munich with full control yet zero hassle for you. Visit us to experience our white label superchargers firsthand and learn how to join the largest fast charging network in the world. So that is cool. This allows businesses to purchase and brand their own supercharger, as we have already seen some do, and joining Tesla's network while setting their own prices and shift from Tesla's traditional controlled pricing model. By enabling third-party investment, Tesla can potentially accelerate infrastructure growth. And Joe shared these pictures and videos and wrote, "Many more Tesla Cybercabs castings at Giga Texas today. Look like around 75 or so in the racks waiting for production line testing, or more than that." Tesla is definitely getting ready for some real production of the Cybercab. And we had more bad news for the legacy automakers, as Alex wrote on X. It's official. Volkswagen closes the plant in Osnabrück, Germany. In a letter from the Work Council, the workforce of Volkswagen Osnabrück was surprised to learn that the group's vehicles will no longer be produced at the site from October 2027. The future of the site in West Lower Saxony was unclear. Now it is clear. Volkswagen will no longer build cars here from the end of 2027. A further 2,300 jobs will be lost. And to put some more salt in the wound, the Volkswagen profits were down 41% in Q1 year over year. But more Germans are feeling the heat, as Alex also shared. Mercedes-Benz net profits in Q1 year over year was down 43%. The Mercedes-Benz consolidated profit in the first quarter of 2025 fell by 43% year over year, from 3 billion euros to 1.7 billion euros. From January to March, operating profits fell by a good 40% to 2.3 billion euros, as the company announced on Wednesday. In Q1, sales in the most important market, China, fell by a further 10%. In the important car division, the operating return on sales fell from 9.6 to 7.3%. In the smaller van division, the operating result even plummeted by 76% as a result of impairment losses at the plant in Argentina that is up for sales. Due to the unclear U.S. customer policy, Mercedes can no longer give an outlook for the year, which is an alarming sign for a company. Yes, that does not sound good, but according to mainstream media, it is only Tesla that has a bad sales numbers in Q1 and demand problems. But Alex continues with the bad news from Germany, as he posted about Porsche. Porsche profits in Q1 was down 40%. Porsche announced on Tuesday that its operating profit fell by 40.6% to 760 million euros in Q1 compared to Q1 of 24. Revenue shrank slightly by 1.7% to 8.86 billion euros. Porsche sales in China are down 42%. So Porsche's bad trend in China continues, and the company doesn't have production in the US. Therefore, with the higher tariffs, sales will retreat significantly. So to sum up the Germans' problems, Tesla has a demand problem. And Tesla Energy could celebrate its 10-year anniversary.
What I'm going to talk about tonight is about a fundamental transformation of how the world works.
For Tesla, their electric car was just the starting.
Tesla is powering up its plans for
The company launched a battery they say could power an entire house.
If you think about the internet revolution that happened in the 1990s, this is another revolution that's happening in energy. So whereas in the 90s we spread information to the entire world, now we're spreading clean energy to the entire world.
Apparently, not just a car company. And Omar shared a video and wrote, "Dude, my Tesla car is getting really good at driving." And SpaceX have made a new Starlink router mini. It is priced at $40 and extends Wi-Fi range for the Starlink dishes in a small home or dead spots. Cool. And Ryan shared this video clip and wrote, "Infotainment in 2025. How is this acceptable in a brand new EV these days when you have Tesla to compare it to? Thank God for Apple CarPlay, literally saving legacy companies right now."
It's actually got, it had satellite overlays. When you zoom in, the satellite overlays disappear there. So, but anyway, still pretty cool sort of looking setup. I just noticed then when I was trying to access that, if you lean your finger on that, it kind of triggers all of this stuff as well. Just a little bit annoying. So you got to rest your finger on here to use it.
Yes, I have a friend that have the Audi Q4, and he said Audi's user interface sucks, but Apple CarPlay is great. So yes, without Apple or Google, the old automakers would be even further behind. And GM is recalling 721,000 cars over engine issues. Ouch. As AJ wrote, this one will be very expensive and won't be an over-the-air update, but as always, GM will casually adjust for it, meaning removing it from the adjusted earnings. There is hardly any company with a bigger permanent gap between GAAP and non-GAAP earnings than GM. And you might have seen an article from Wall Street journals that Tesla was out looking for a new CEO. But of course, it was all BS from legacy media. What a surprise, because Tesla actually reported on X as they wrote. Earlier today, there was a media report erroneously claiming that Tesla's board had contacted recruitment firms to initiate a CEO search at the company. This is absolutely false, and it was communicated to the media before the report was published. Jesus. The CEO of Tesla is Elon Musk, and the board is highly confident in his ability to continue executing on the existing growth plan ahead. Robin Denholm. And Elon also reposted it and wrote, "It is extremely bad breach of ethic that Wall Street would publish a deliberately false article and fail to include an unequivalent denial beforehand by the Tesla board of directors." Yes, exactly. And Alexandra had a little more direct message for the legacy media. And with all the hate Tesla gets and the talk about how bad Tesla's Q1 was, Tesla reminds everybody Tesla has been pronounced dead many times. We will be just fine, thanks to you, our owners, employees, and supporters. Yes, according to the hater, Tesla should have been bankrupt many, many years ago. But Tesla is still alive and kicking. That is all we have time for in this Overflow News Show. Hope you enjoyed it. If you did, don't forget to hit that like button. It really does help this video out a lot so others can find it on YouTube. So 1 second, just hit that like button. Thank you. And if you did like it, maybe you want to consider hitting that subscribe button, notification bell, so you don't miss out on future videos just like this one. And if you're already a subscriber to the channel, thank you so much for the support. But if you want to support the channel even more, remember you can, for as little as $1, become a patron of this channel, or become a member of the YouTube channel to get a shout out, add some extra perks like early access, ad-free versions of my videos, exclusive videos. So hit the members button or check out Patreon to find out more. And don't forget to follow me on X. I post pretty much all the news as it comes out and a lot more. And check out the merch store to get some merchandise and support the show. It is also possible to support the show without becoming a member or a patron. There is a donation option down below or on my website bestintesla.com. You can also become an executive producer and get news articles, exclusive videos, behind the scenes, and access to all my research charts and spreadsheet also on bestintesla.com, or as simple as hitting the super like button. And thank you for watching. And until next time, take care out there and be nice.